The White House hosted a summit to address the opioid epidemic. First Lady Melania Trump opened the event, followed by a panel with cabinet secretaries on treatment and prevention initiatives. Speakers included Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin, Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson, and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar. White House Counselor Kellyanne Conway moderated.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. I want to be here to personally tell each of you that what I do today, it matters. Everyone in this room knows that our country is in the middle of the opioid crisis, and I'm so proud of the work that this administration has already done to combat this epidemic. We all know there is still much work to be done, which is why you're all here today. Our unified goal is that of helping all who have been affected by drug addiction. Thank you again for your hard work and commitment to this topic. You're all making a real difference, and I look forward to hearing the important action items that everyone will take away from today's summit. Thank you all, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Kellyanne Conway.
As you can see, the First Lady joins her husband, the President of the United States, and the entire administration in their commitment to combating the opioid crisis and the drug demand, drug supply epidemic roiling our country. On October 26, 2017, on this very platform, in this very room, the President and the First Lady delivered a joint policy address about this topic. That same day, the Acting Director of the Health and Human Services, Acting Secretary, he declared a public health emergency, and the President deployed and directed his entire administration to do their respective parts in helping to bend the curve on the eye-popping numbers and grief and loss that is roiling this nation. But I really want to recognize with great distinction and gratitude for being here those courageous family members who have suffered loss, and those individuals who currently are either struggling and or are recovering. We see you, we hear you, and we support you. This President and his administration are focused on law enforcement interdiction, treatment and recovery, education and prevention. Thank you. Kevin Meara from Hamilton, New Jersey, where we're talking about maps and identifying spikes in need. Sir.
Thank you very much. Happy St. Patrick's Month to everybody here today. And I want to thank the President, First Lady, and everyone over at ONDCP who's never said no to the parents. My name is Kevin Meara, and my wife Marianne and I volunteer for a small mom and pop nonprofit in New Jersey. All volunteers, and we don't have any federal grants or state grants. So my question is, one second, I forgot. Kellyanne, my wife said that the only way I could retire is if I work with you on the opioid epidemic. So since you're both Jersey girls, I figured maybe you could work it out with her. But
got it.
Thank you very much. So I'm not a professional. I'm just a dad who buried his son. Casey was 24 when we lost him. I can't believe, it's just hard to fathom that my journey has taken us from his bedroom, where we lost him, to the East Room of the White House. But actually, with all due respect, I'd trade it, all of this, just for 5 more minutes with him, just 5. So City of Angels, although it's a small mom and pop nonprofit, we think we do some big things on the leading edge of the curve. And what I mean by that is we started sending volunteers into hospitals and into the emergency rooms and into the police departments back in 2008. Now they call them recovery coaches and hope and angel programs, so on, so to speak. But my question centers around ODMAP, another leading edge thing. And we found this down at the Baltimore, D.C. HIDA. It's actually an app for your phone where the first responders, police officers, and emergency medical technicians responding to an overdose can actually sign on and send information, and the overdoses would be tracked real time, which would also go to help identify spikes. And so we're hoping that if there's a possibility that this could be done as a national model and introduced as such. And I'm just going to close by saying I look at your chair, your empty chair there, Kelly, 5,394. 5,394 from today, March 1st to April 1st, Easter Sunday. That's how many chairs will be empty at Easter tables, because we're losing 174 people to overdoses every day. And I'll just close by saying thank you very much, secretaries. You want to know me for what I've learned over the last 10 years. You don't want to be me for what Eric and these other parents have gone through. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing your story and making a difference for others. Also, we will keep you in our prayers. I know, Mr. Attorney General, you talked about data sharing and analytics, and of course, Mr. Meara is talking about the use and the ability to have better data sharing by tracking overdoses and identifying spikes. Anything in the data analytics that you want to talk about?
Yes, the HIDA program, I think, started in early 2017, last year. A lot of places are looking at that around the country. I know a number, I think 3 or more counties were in their initial project. It's proving apparently successful in being adopted. I would just say every area of the country, when you deal with this, we all know there's not one single thing that's going to fix it, but a series of actions, even if it reduces the problem 1, 2, 3, 5%, helps us to be more effective, will add up over time to begin to reverse this trend. And we also know, and was told at New Hampshire when I was there for the first time, but I've heard it repeatedly, that you would think when a powerful fentanyl supply starts killing people, that people would flee from it. But the DEA tells us that some people come, particularly the addicts, and they want more of the more powerful drug. So this kind of early identification can help deal with a spike in extremely dangerous levels of fentanyl.
But every great movement has a leader. And our leader is the President of the United States, and it gives me great honor and pleasure to introduce him to you now, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Kellyanne, and it's an honor to be with you. I just said I was going to stop over, say hello to some of the great families and some friends that have had some incredible difficulty. I know what you're going through, so I fully understand what you're going through. The administration's going to be rolling out policy over the next 3 weeks, and it'll be very, very strong. I've also spoken with Jeff about bringing a lawsuit against some of these opioid companies. I mean, what they're doing and the way the distribution. And you have people that go to the hospital with a broken arm and they come out and they're addicted. They're addicted to painkillers and they don't even know what happened. They go in for something minor and they come out and they're in serious shape. In the meantime, I just want to pay my respects to everybody. Some of you have gone through a lot. Many of you in this room have gone through a lot, more than anyone can imagine. We're with you 100%. We're fighting for you, and we're going to win. We're going to win. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Steve Trevelise here with Kevin Meara, one of the founding members of the City of Angels.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, you were in Washington, D.C. You were at the summit, the Opioid Summit.
At the White House.
At the White House.
Yes.
And there you are. Not only are you, are you asking a question?
Yes.
But President Trump himself actually walked over afterwards to shake your hand.
Yes.
And you asked the President of the United States, you have one question. You have that second, when you can ask the President of the United States anything you want. And what do you ask the President of the United States?
Mr. President, how about a selfie?
How about a selfie? so now what happens? Take me through this.
So the President's exiting.
Right.
He's coming down,
right.
And he stops at me to shake a hand.
Right.
I shake his hand,
right.
And I let guy say, Mr. President, but how about a selfie? He goes, yeah, real fast. So I took my phone, and I went like this, and we did a selfie.
And that was it.
He was a nice guy. It was
really?
fun. Yeah, he kind of made a little funny
shake
face.
Hands.
He shook my hand twice. He shook my hand coming in, and he shook my hand coming out. It was wonderful.
At least he didn't say you're fired.
No.
No.
He said I could come back.
You can?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, at least somebody gave you some coverage on
Seriously.
this. That's what we're here for.
Appreciate it.
The work you do is phenomenal.
Thanks.
You know that.
1015, you guys are great.
Tell them.
Thank you. 1015 has been great. They've been covering this epidemic for a whole bunch of years now. They've been giving City of Angels and a megaphone, basically. When it's 1015 is the largest radio station in New Jersey. But you've been giving us a voice. You've been giving parents a voice. We can't thank you enough.
You got it. Selfie.